Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Listening to a live feed today. Have a quick discussion with you guys in regards to sometimes I think a lot of people are doing, but on different aspects of the industry, and that's ignoring insurance. So I have a quick live feed we're discussing today. Don't ignore insurance. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. So, feel free to interact with the discussion we're having today. Because I do think, like I said, this is something that's very needed. When I say don't ignore insurance. What I want to have a discussion more so is just different aspects of insurance. I mean, car insurance, business insurance, rental insurance, life insurance. Give some of my experience, not necessarily with me personally, but more so things that I've seen run across where people kind of maybe say forget on purpose when it concerns insurance and stuff and the different things that have happened in regards to that. When I say forget on purpose, I'm just being sarcastic, but really just ignoring it and understand and really not looking at the magnitude of not having insurance in place for certain things. Uh, what I Before we get started again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. You know the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. We talk about personal finance, entrepreneurship, business, and investing. We got close to 400 videos on the YouTube channel. Cover business operation, business management, business finance. We got a grant playlist, 150 grant opportunities for you guys to take advantage of. We're streaming all the different platforms, but the main hub is the YouTube channel. So go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, get a notification each time we upload a new video, and also just check out all the information we got on there. So when I first started talking about not ignoring insurance, one of the first ones I want to bring up is just basic car insurance. And one of the biggest things that I think that I see people having an issue with, keep in mind while speaking of this, I am an accountant by profession. I have an accounting firm. We've been open 21 years in business that we've had so far. And when I started looking at people who were having issues in regards to just that insurance, car insurance rather, the biggest thing I look at with people is that had decided if they're going to have liability insurance or have full coverage insurance. And I think a lot of times people make decisions on what they can afford. And depending on how your pocket looking, like, okay, look, if I can just get liability, I don't have a loan attached to it, let me just get liability, and we just keep it moving. What I want people to understand, we'll start having a discussion about not ignoring insurance. We got to remember, guys, a key thing is that whole replacement cost. We start talking about a vehicle. And I'm not talking necessarily replacement cost that a lender may have attached to you, more so just your personal replacement cost. I understand that we all got different finance levels when it comes to being able to pay for a full coverage and having to be able to pay for a liability coverage. But you got to understand something. Accidents don't happen when we want it to, when we want them to happen. No one has an accident on purpose, right? There's no point of it being an accident. So when it happens, far too often people are caught in a situation where, number one big thing that people skip off is just they're looking at the deductible amount because they got a high deductible because they want to be able to pay a lower premium each month. The issue, so number one, you got to get past the deductible issue. That's why you see a lot of these brand new cars, maybe a year or two old, with big old dents on the side because people couldn't do that. The second thing is not having it full cover. I understand, like I said again, I understand how people have different money levels, but even if your car is paid off and you being realistic, like, look, especially with the cost of new cars right now, you can't afford to not have it sometimes fully covered, because even if you don't have a loan attached to it and you have some damage happen to your car, it probably behooves you to get that car fixed instead of you getting out there having to look for a whole new car because you only had liability insurance on your car. So we start talking about that replacement cost, especially in today's age, during these times with the chip shortage, and a lot of cars are marked up a lot higher than they normally would be. Do you really want to be playing the game? I don't say playing the game, but be in a situation rather where you're stuck having to pay this astronomical amount on a car that you probably would have paid that price 2 years ago, only because you didn't have proper insurance or enough insurance to cover your car. Again, guys, I just want you to keep in mind we ain't necessarily going to be able to always kind of make the basis of what we can afford. Sometimes you can't afford not to have it. So like I say, it's riding with liability insurance on the car. Even though you don't have that loan attached to it, you may want to have full coverage. The only proper thing I would probably just say with having the thought process in regards to the Why would you have liability? Why would you keep liability on the car as opposed to having full coverage when you know the replacement cost is at a number that you're comfortable with? Kind of like what I told you, I did a video before in regards to gap insurance. I understand it. You don't have to get gap insurance with a loan in your car. Get a gap insurance from your outside, your personal insurance company, and then when the replacement value gets to a certain point where the loan amount is, where you know you don't need to pay that difference, you just get rid of the gap insurance instead of be paying the gap insurance the entire amount of the loan. But check that video in regards to why you don't need why you don't have to have gap insurance over the whole loan. Why you don't have to have gap insurance including to your auto loan. But definitely, guys, you want to make some kind of assessment when we start talking about liability and full coverage with your car insurance. Okay, make sure you again, cost and payment price is not the key factor in looking at it. I understand. Everybody got different, finances, in regards to the money that you have available to you. But again, sometimes we can't afford not to have certain coverages. Okay, and that's with the car insurance. The next one is looking at business insurance. You guys know I'm accounted by profession. A lot of people that are in business, they ignore certain industries. When I say ignore them, accountants, insurance, legal, and I'll be honest with you, the only time typically people will actually use our services is when you need us. Okay, and what I mean by need us, you've been audited by the IRS, you got some kind of legal trouble, you might need to get with an attorney, you got a certain contract that's unavailable. Now you want to get certain insurances set in place, and a lot of times you get into a bind, it's kind of tough to get it fixed. And we start looking at business insurance, you need those kind of things to cover you. In my industry in particular, you got what's called like an errors and omissions insurance policy. I've been in business 21 years. Have we had mistakes with data entry and some things being missed and stuff when we're dealing with taxes, or there was somebody counting records? Absolutely. And it is not uncommon. Things happen. But your mistake still costs somebody, me or the customer, and you gotta get it taken care of. So we have to have the insurance in place to cover. We have a mistake. The cost can't be taken care of our level, and it may have a customer may have this never happened, but just an example. They may have a $5,000-$10,000 liability off an error that we caused. Well, they can't. That's not for them to do it because we made a mistake. Okay, so we have an insurance in place, errors and omission, to cover that our mistakes that we may have from data entry standpoint. Somebody's working at your particular, it's walking to your particular store, they slip up and fall. You don't have some kind of liability insurance covered up and everything. Somebody, that's how people get sued. You hear about all the time, people at grocery store fall. They had the car dealer, the different restaurants and stuff. It happens, right? But you only had enough, the mandatory insurance, they say workers' comp, things like that, but you didn't have liability insurance set up. How you gonna cover your lawsuit? Now you gotta close your business down. Guys, it happens all the time. Like I said, my particular business being accounting, the legal and insurance and stuff people do because there's no barrier to entry. You can start your business up without having to deal with us. You don't need an accountant. Because a lot of times people, I think, equate accounting to balancing your checkbook. So they really feel like they can get somebody that they know what to try to do it themselves. There's a reason why people go to school 4 years for that. There's a reason why people go to law school. There's a reason why people go to medical school. If you got some pains and stuff like that, you want to just leave it at WebMD, that's on you. But I'm just just trying to be honest with you. Those things, insurance is not, don't look at it as a big deal. Look at it as something to protect you, okay? Because things happen. Like I always say, things don't happen when you want them to happen. They happen when you're not prepared for them to happen. So always make sure you got things in place to protect you, okay? That's why we want to try to have that insurance and get that business insurance. Because if you're in a situation, you're building your business from scratch, you're growing it, you're doing all the right things you're supposed to do, the last thing you want to have happen is a situation come up because of an accident, and then you lose everything you worked for. Not only does the business close, the actual personal investment and time that you invest to get it started or keep it going, all that stuff is gone now. So remember, make sure you have the insurance for your business in place to protect you. The third one is rental insurance, right? And this is rental insurance on both sides. Okay, we're talking about you being the tenant and you also being the landlord or owner of the particular premises, right? We look at the tenant side of it, fire and stuff like that, it happens. Again, we say mistakes and accidents don't happen on purpose. They just happen. And you want to be able to sit there and cover yourself in the event something like that happens. Why not have an affordable product in place to cover you and protect you? So many times people rent in certain places from residential, commercial, and they don't have things in place to protect them just in case of fire or for theft or somebody breaks in and stuff. And then have an adequate amount of coverage to cover them then. Some insurance policies don't cover theft. Some, we're talking about rental insurance, don't cover necessarily cover theft. They may just cover fire. Make sure you got all the proper coverages in place with that. Flip it over to the owner landlord side. Things happen. Somebody can move into your house, burn it down, tear it up, whatever. You want to make sure you can do that. You want to make sure they got insurance coverages if you're a landlord or a owner, that if somebody moves out and you have a mortgage attached to it, that insurance cover can help. The insurance coverage can help you pay your mortgages when somebody's out. Okay, so again, we're talking about don't ignore insurance. There are products out there. Remember, theoretically, insurance is set to what? Help protect you, right? So you can look and make sure that you got, some kind of mortgage insurance coverage out. Just in case tenant moves out, tenant got to get evicted, you can still cover yourself in the long run. The last one I want to talk about is life insurance. You see some in the videos in place in regards to just having having life insurance in place. I know the whole concept of infinite banking. I'm gonna do a video in regards to that and give my spiel on the whole infinite banking and cover having whole life policies and doing it. But people saying, quote unquote, the rich people do. It's amazing what a lot of times people tell you what rich people do, but they're not necessarily rich. But when we start talking about just having, life insurance, one of the key things is make sure you got adequate amount of life insurance in place. What I mean by that is, don't just look at insurance as a product. Life insurance is a product to bury you. Life insurance is a product to replace you. Okay, looking from that concept. And what I mean by that is, of course, you need to be buried and have a funeral services to go to a place, but your income, the thing that you brought to your home, is still missing. So you want to make sure that if you have certain things in place, you have children, you have enough life insurance to cover their college tuition, their your home mortgage, those things that you normally were doing on a regular basis. You have enough money left where people don't have any kind of traumatic, huge lifestyle change because you're gone. Remember, insurance is set up to replace you. So the more you can do to make sure you got systems in place and things in place to do that, the better. So that's why you want to have an adequate amount of life insurance. At minimum, yes, make sure you got enough to at least bury it. But theoretically, understand the whole concept of insurance is what? To replace you. So you want to make sure you got enough insurance in place to replace you in the event something with you happen. Okay, that's one thing. You hear a lot of people like, I'm just get enough to make sure my insurance, my funeral expenses are covered. But like I said, theoretically, what about you? What about your checks? What about your income? Of course, your guidance and your presence is gone, but we want to make sure that a lot of future liabilities that people, your loved ones that you're close to, they're protected in regards to the thing they're trying to do. Okay, so check out the video I have on Mr. Short Dollar concerning how much life insurance do you need. And I gave a whole breakdown mathematically on how much you need to have set in place for you, depending on what you have in regards to asset replacement, income replacement, things like that. Okay, so make sure you check that video out as well. But listen, guys, we're going to have that little quick discussion with you in regards to not ignoring insurance. Again, 5 things. One of them was just the car insurance, the business car insurance, the business insurance, rental insurance, and also life insurance. Don't ignore them, guys. Remember, accidents don't happen when we want. I can't reiterate it enough, because a lot of times we get in a situation, we know we probably need something to protect us. We know we probably need something to cover us, but we don't put the systems and the products in place. Okay, because I want you guys to make sure that you looking to get proper coverage, no matter what your vehicle, your business, your place you may be renting or the place you may be renting out, and most importantly, your life insurance. Okay, make sure again subscribe to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Again, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever platform, YouTube, whatever platform you follow us on, I appreciate you tuning in. But again, the main hub with all the videos is on the YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar. Take care of yourself, guys. Best of luck, and talk with you soon.